can hear this broadcast in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your television.
Or by talking to some of our many Spanish-speaking employees.
Being you can't hear me, all rights are reserved. Any reproduction or rebroadcast of this telecast without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. That means nothing, but I'm hoping you can hear me. Frankie joins me again. We're working out the kinks at home.
Right.
People are texting me, DMing me that they're having different volume issues. We're getting there, and it's going to be fine.
Ultimately, look, it's television. It's all about how we look anyway.
Keep your eye on the prize, baby.
That's right. So a couple of news items coming out today that we didn't have a chance to get to. One is that is news. Do I still have a glass? No, it's probably for the best. I'm out of bubbly. But one, John, is that the UK Supreme Court has ruled that Boris Johnson's suspension of Parliament in the UK was unlawful. So this is a little bit of a setback to the Prime Minister, who has had he's here in New York now, but he's had a pretty troubled beginning to his tenure as Prime Minister.
This could get ugly.
Oh, it's getting ugly.
Because we have three of the axis of good. George Bush called them the axis of evil. The axis of good is Israel, the UK, and the US. We have Trump right now under potential double impeachment. We have Bibi Netanyahu, who narrowly lost the election on the popular vote, but they're trying to make it out, but he's under indictment. And now Boris potentially broke the law. So we have all the leaders of our best allies seem to be having problems these days.
All right, well, so you mentioned...
And when Frankie starts writing on his pad, that means I said something wrong.
That's
but
right.
We'll get to that in section 6.
You mentioned the impeachment that we're watching here. Now, based on what we're seeing in terms of Joe Biden coming out for impeachment, in terms of John Lewis coming out for impeachment, and a number of others, it is becoming increasingly likely that impeachment by the House is no longer a question of if, but when.
Joe Biden came out? Is that what you just said? I wasn't paying attention for a minute, but you said finally Joe Biden came out.
If the prohibition...
When's Cory Booker going to come out? That's the question. What's he doing?
What is in that vodka?
If he listen. If Cory Booker, if you ask me, okay, if Cory Booker wanted to make $2 million in a week, he should come out and say what his actual pronouns are. That's what I think.
Fair enough. Now,
you know what I mean? And I think people would respect him and love him for being, whatever it is he is. I don't know, but so I have my own suspicions.
We are following Whistlegate, and now, as of this morning, President Trump's here in New York as well. He has shifted his explanation for temporarily withholding hundreds of millions of dollars in military aid to Ukraine, citing what he criticized as a lack of similar financial contributions by other Western powers to the Eastern European nation. Now, this is a little bit at odds with what he said yesterday, which is that he denied the assistance because he feared bureaucratic corruption within the Ukrainian government.
Come on already.
You know what, though?
Well, yesterday is gone. It is but a memory. You know what I mean? Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Let's live in the moment. Today, he said he held it back for these reasons, and that's what we must go with. So, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
The president spoke at the UN.
Yesterday's dead.
Okay, let me tell you what happened today. The president spoke at the UN today, and do we have any video of what the president said? Okay, this is what the president said.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this is the president in his speech to the General Assembly or him just riffing before the speech. But take a look at President Trump this morning.
I think I'm going to get a Nobel Prize for a lot of things if they gave it out fairly, which they don't. They gave it out. Well, they gave one to Obama immediately upon his ascent to the presidency, and he had no.
Who's he with? Is that?
So that was President Trump saying that he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. But let me tell you,
who was he sitting with? I couldn't.
I couldn't see. I don't know.
It looked like Frank Stallone. Sylvester Stallone's
brother. It did
brother.
look like Frank Stallone. I actually like Frank Stallone.
Was that the famous guy? Did he make Eye of the Tiger?
Yes, that's right. I think he won an Oscar for that.
I think that was Frank Stallone.
Now,
if you want democracy, hold on to your sovereignty, and if you want peace, love your nation. Wise leaders always put the good of their own people and their own country first. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots. The future belongs to sovereign and independent nations
worst. We're locked and loaded. We're gonna blow your nuts off. You know, all this stuff is bluster to get them to the table, and it's worked in North Korea. It's worked in other places. And by the way, in case you watch any of these left-wing lunatic shows like Morning Joe, they keep making fun of the whole Greenland thing. They're loaded with resources, and the president trying to pick it up for a song was a pretty inventive thing. So he's not always crazy. We are, and the craziness continues right after this.